Okay. Let's see if we live on Instagram. Okay. Yeah, now we in the building. Now we are in the building. Let me know how the audio is. We are live now on Instagram as well as YouTube and StreamYard. Yes, yes, we in the building. We in the builder. Builder. Welcome to the and we're in the building, right? Tongue twister. Welcome to the Respectfully Great Podcast. We are in the building. Shout out to A Rod in the building. That's my man. That's my brother. Andy in the building. Chimney Bricks and Stones. What's up, loved one? Lizzie in the building. What is Gucci? We are pumped. We are super ecstatic. I'm able to see the comments. Everybody that's on Instagram, just a FYI, can you make your way over to YouTube at Respectfully Great on YouTube? Swing on over. Your boy looked like he's 10 minutes late, but actually I was here uh, about 5 minutes prior working on the audio. For some reason, it wasn't connecting. But that's how these things go, right? Nothing goes according to plan all the time, and we're gonna figure it out one way or another. We're going to figure it out. So if you here, you're alive, you are well, you are breathing. Give yourself a pat on the back, right? Give yourself a round of applause. Love yourself. That's what it's all about. It's about loving yourself, right? Today we have some of the sponsors that's in the building. We have BMO Bag Money Only, as you can see. Bag Money Only. That's my bro. That's my bro brand. 100 Wave King, he in the building. Shout out to my bro, Bay Bro right there, Bay Bro. 100 Wave King, BMO. Also, we got here we go. This side, the Respectfully Great brand. As you can see, the emblem, which is the enamel pin, right here on the brim. That's where that thing is at right there. We are shouting out some of the sponsors. Respectfully Great is one of the sponsors, as well as BMO Bag Money Only, 100 Wave King. Yes, sir. So today we have a wonderful, wonderful topic to expound on. The climate calls for it. There's so many things that's going on in the universe and this ecosystem that we are in, this world that we call life. There's so many things that are going on at this very moment. And I feel really, really compelled to talk about this topic at hand because there's so much going on. Let's delve right in. Let's delve right in. Today, we are talking about learning the language of your passion and purpose. One more time. Let me run it back. Let me double back. We are learning the language of your passion and purpose. Also, let's get a sound check because last time on my last audio, for some reason, it sounded good here, but it wasn't coming out. I had to do some other things where I had to, set up the settings right because unbeknownst to me, I think I was doing the right thing and come to find out I had some things that were tweaked off. So right now, what I want to do is just test, making sure that the audio is right. If the audio is right, send some thumbs up. Send some thumbs up like this. Throw some fire emojis in the chat to let me know, or put some ears in the chat. Let me know, like, listen, man, I hear you. We in the building. We tapped in. Let me know if you hear this audio though. On Instagram, you may not hear it. Instagram, you may not hear it. If you're on StreamYard and YouTube, you definitely should hear it. So let me know. I'm playing with my soundboard, and I want to know if you hear this in the building. How about let's go with a round of applause. Let me know how the round of applause sound. If you are on YouTube, I need a thumbs up so I can see them on my StreamYard, so that I don't have to, transfer over back to the gram and go off my screen, etc., and cause mass hysteria and chaos. Although I don't want to call hate. I don't want to. Your boy is tongue twisted today, right? Talking too fast. Maybe my mouth is moving faster than, the things going on inside of my head. My brain is moving, and I'm just talking. But listen, it's a good thing. I feel good spiritually. I'm in alignment. I know the loved ones out there. I know you are spiritually aligned as well. No matter what the circumstances are, no matter what's going on in your life, understand that you are here for a purpose. Nothing happens by happenstance. Nothing happens by chance. Everything is purpose driven. You are exactly where you need to be at in your life, for good, bad, and indifferent. So I just want you to be aware of that. Just be here in the moment. Have your awareness up. Constantly work on you being aware of your circumstances, the areas that you're in. Get around people that love you enough to tell you the truth. Truth shall set you free. I heard something by Dante Nero. Dante Nero says, if you tell 85% or 95% of the truth, you're still a liar because you're still not keeping it 100. So understand, when you tell parts of the story, it's not telling the whole truth, you're still a liar. So the thing is, if you want to be somebody that's more aware, more transparent, you want that thing to, be able to look in the mirror and accept yourself. You got to be able to be 100 with yourself. There's a song by, my mom plays it all the time. And shout out to my Uncle Eric, Enoch, Big Enoch. The song goes like this. It's a country song. It's something like, gotta keep it 100. Gotta keep it 100. Gotta keep it 100. Shout out to Enoch right there for that. Shout out to my blood, put me on to the record. And Big Enoch, my uncle, he plays that jam. You gotta keep it 100. And that's the thing that we're talking about today. You want to be transparent. You want to be that person that accepts yourself, want people to be receptive to you. We can't tell 85% of the story. You can't tell 99% of the story. You got to keep it 100 and tell 100% of the story. You dig me? You dig me? It brings us to this topic at hand today. It brings us here at this topic at hand today. The topic we're talking about, learning the language of your passion and purpose. Learning the language of your passion and purpose. Why is this important? It's important because we shape and mold our purpose from our design. I get that from Dr. Ali all the time. We shape and mold our purpose from our design. Everybody's uniquely designed. And we got to understand that people are different. People are different. So are you. There's some gifts. There's some leverage that you have over other people. You're not in competition with other people. It's just showing that you have something to offer other people that lack in that skill or ability. There's some things that you lacking in your life to where you can inherit some of the skill, inherit some of the ability to go out there and do a just job for you, the people that you serve, the people you come in contact with when you're doing your daily duties. You want to be a great entrepreneur. That means that you got to learn the tricks of the trade. You got to learn the industry. You got to immerse yourself inside of the industry. You got to learn the game. People always want to play the game but don't understand the rules. And then when the rules come and smack you, I didn't know about that. Oh, you should have read the rule book. You should have read the pamphlet. You should have went over the rules and conduct or asked somebody, what's going on over here? It brings me, the reason why I'm bringing these things up about learning the lay of the land, learning the industry. It's because when you learn the language of your passion and your purpose, there's some steps that you can take in order to get real familiar about the industry that you want to get yourself involved in. Everything around us has an industry. Everything around us has an industry. Let me break this back. Let me double back. Let me go all the way back for a second. So I heard of this concept by Michael Margolis. Michael Margolis, right? Entrepreneur, a chocolate enthusiast. His father used to work at Nestle, and he has this this passion about how we tell our stories. When he says that people buy products, people don't just buy your product. You may have a great product, but people buy the stories that's attached to it. Everything that we buy has a story. The reason why I'm sitting in this chair right behind me is because there was a story that was told about this chair that said, hey, this is a comfortable chair. Hey, in order for you to do your podcast, you need somewhere to sit because you don't want to stand for an hour or more or etc. The story behind this mic, I heard that it was a great mic. That's why I purchased and put the investment inside of this mic, because I heard the quality, the sound quality was there. There was a story told about this mic, why I purchased it. Why do I got this chain on, this shirt on, these headphones, this hat? Why do I look the way I look? That's the genetics from my mama and my daddy. Nah. I'm just playing. But I'm saying, overall, everything has a story, right? And that story that's told is why we buy into some of the things that we buy into, the stories that we buy into, the people that we buy into. And he was talking about, Michael Margolis, he was talking about the story of him and chocolate, the cacao chocolate, right? This chocolate had been around since Mesoamerica, time period where you had Central Mexico down to El Salvador, Belize, Honduras, all of Central, around those surrounding areas in Central America. And the story about the cacao, it's not only the story about the chocolate, it's about the story that was behind the chocolate, where it derived from. During those times, people used to trade, right, barter with the cacao, with the chocolate, right? And here it is today. We have some people that invest in chocolate. We have Mr. Beast with Feastables. You know, he's a chocolate enthusiast. I was watching an interview the other day with him and Stephen Bartlett, and he was going through how much of he goes about his chocolate. Right. Not only does he learn about the chocolate, he goes to the countries where he see how they harvest the chocolate. Right. And he started to learn that there's some labor, unfavorable labor practices that are in place in Africa and down in like Africa, etc., where they are using children, right, underprivileged children that's working for meager wages, like cents on a dollar, for long days, you know, similar to when they was doing like mining, when they do the diamond thing and all this stuff. In these third world countries, and these countries is dealing with poverty, or areas where they're dealing with poverty, there's some things and practices where, you know, people have these big bucks and pay people um really small amounts of money in the harshest conditions, and people going out there losing their lives under these circumstances, right? And under these practices. So when I was learning about Feastables with Mr. Beast, and he was saying like how much he goes into, what he want to do is reform the industry on how the people are being paid and the practices, and making sure that the people are safe when they're doing these jobs, because most people don't care about them. Most people with these big industries don't care about how the people are doing in the process of getting their money. All they looking for is the dollar. All they care about is the money that's going to feed their families. And never mind how you and your family are doing, as long as you get my job done and serve the purpose of feeding my family, that's all that counts. So when we're talking about these things, it makes me think about um, where does these stories come from? How does it tie into our passion and our purpose? What practices do we need to take in order to not only safeguard people in the process of us following our passion? How do we feed our families off of our practices? How do we teach another personnel from the things that we learn to save a person some investment money, save somebody some time, be able to open up doors and avenues for other people because of the practices and the things that you have learned along the way, coming into your mastery of that skill set and the knowledge that you acquire. So it's very prevalent to the things that's going on in this industry, in the world that we're living in now, because everything is tied to an industry. Everything has a story, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. We have some stories that are not favorable. Something that's going on in the media right now. There's something that's going on with this big Rico case out in California. Um, One of the gentlemen, Big U, they said that he was tied to murder, uh, a bunch of other things, and there was a lot of people that was tied into his organization that went down in recently. Was it yesterday, if I'm not mistaken? And it's just it made me think about not only about this topic, but we can be tied to industries in favorable ways, and we can be tied to some things that can be dysfunctional. And what I want us to be aware of is that everything you do, you're going to be tied to an industry, a culture, a community, a way that people like us do things like this, whatever this is. People that's part of the hip hop culture. What do they do in hip hop culture? Graffiti, breakdance, rap. You know, they go to concerts. They go to, that's part of the hip hop or music culture. Somebody that's tied to books, what do? They go to book signings. They go to library. They look up the latest stories of who telling what. They go to, conventions where they have numerous amount of books, or they go to Kindle, read, listen. However they tied to the culture of books. And when people go and they coffee enthusiasts, what they do, they go to Starbucks, they try different coffees, they go to different pubs, etc. Wherever they serving coffee at, these this coffee came from Australia, this came in from Colombia, etc. etc. People just engulfed into the culture. I was driving past the other day, I was in Long Island, driving past on Old Country Road, and they just made a new coffee shop. It was a late night coffee shop though, And it was kind of odd because I didn't see, like around this area, we don't see late night coffee shops. This was open like 11, 12 o'clock at night. Coffee shop. There were people inside of there. And I'm like, wow, that's innovative. Because normally you see from the normal business hours, maybe shut down 9 o'clock latest, right? Everything pretty much shuts down when it comes to going to get a hot cup of coffee besides like Dunkin' Donuts or something, right? But then when you see this establishment to where you seen people in there reading, there was allowed to have their pets inside of there. So I seen some person with a dog talking, chatting, people in there with the computer. I'm like, okay, people that drink coffee do things like that. People that like coffee do things like that. And my thing is, start to question what industry are you part of? Are you part of something that's progressive? Are you part of something that's dysfunctional? Are you part of something that's innovative? What part of culture are you a part of? You. It made me think about when I seen these individuals get jammed up and they locked up and they got these things that they got to deal with when they deal with incarceration, the system, etc. I'm like, man, how many people have we lost inside of those systems by being part of a dysfunctional industry? Because people that are part of the gang life culture, yes, it may be a brotherhood and sisterhood, but they may come with some violence in that industry. It may come with some, you know, some money laundering in that industry, mob like mentality. It may come with some, extortion in that industry. So every industry, you gotta weigh the pros and cons. Is it good for you to be part of that industry, or I think I should pass on this industry, or I learned from another personnel what not to do or what not to get involved in because I heard some beautiful things, some hardships. So even though the thing is, we don't always have to be the test dummy, right? We know that cars can hurt people. So we shouldn't be the crash test dummy to get inside of the car and try to test drive each car inside of a crash to see whether you survive or not. You may only have one time to be in that car, and that car crash could end your life. Yeah, you might have made out unscathed in 3 or 4 car accidents, but I don't wish to be in a car accident because God forbid you say, yeah, I want to get in this car accident, and that be your last accident that you ever was in. So sometimes we got to be careful for what we ask for, because one mistake can end up something that's detrimental. We can learn from other people's stories, why stories are important, because you can learn what not to do. Hey, I shouldn't get in that car. That person right there is inebriated. They're a little under the influence. Why I'm talking like this? Because I was one of those personnel that did that. I could have DWI before, 15 years ago. And not saying that I stopped completely. I mean, I stopped drinking now, but there were times afterwards where I still would occasionally drink, as if I didn't learn my lesson and still get behind the wheel. I've done it. And I start to look back on my life and say, you playing with your life. You rolling that dice. Do you want to go through them same circumstances that you have gone through before? Another 15 years? High insurance might take somebody's life, get your life taken, spend a night in jail, etc. Is it worth that? Everything that you worked and established to get to and amount to at this very moment, is it wise for you to go through those same channels from learning from my own story or learning from somebody else's story? Why would you take unnecessary risks that could harm you, your loved ones, family, whoever? A lot of times when we do things, a lot of times we thinking about just self, being self-centered, being cynical, thinking about, no, it's all about me, it's all about me. But you don't understand that you also affect the people that depend on you, their lives. You say you got a job, somebody's expecting you to show up at work. You don't show up at work because you was doing something foolish, whatever that may be. So now, are you a dependable coworker? What if you got a business, you got an employee that just tends to stroll through the door whenever they want? How can they ever allow your business to grow? How can you say, you know what, I should put some more money in their pocket because they're a great employee, but they don't show up on time. So why should I give them a raise? Do they deserve the raise? No. We put ourselves in compromising positions and we question, well, I deserve this, I deserve that, but are you showing up as the person that deserves it? That's the question you really got to ask yourself. Are you showing up as the person that deserved the raise? Are you showing up as the person that you know what, that person right there, they should get a promotion. He or she deserves the promotion because they showing up like somebody that needs to be promoted. Or do you show up like the person, man, this guy or her is on a ticking time bomb. It's only a matter of time for they gonna exit themselves because they first they're unreliable, unqualified, not suited to do the job, don't care. Cool, absolutely, we got a place for you. Out the door, because nobody wanted to be a part of somebody that's losing. Do you want to be part of the loser club? Because being part of the loser club mean that, hey, opportunities don't come by my way. We kind of get looked over, and some of the choices that we make in our lives, we were part of the loser club because of not having high agency, not being able to make decisions on your own, quality decisions, having prudence. Not only having quality decisions, but simply just being able to make a decision. That comes tough. A lot of people have hard times making a decision. What you think about this? What you think about this? What you think about this? Asking everybody around the room what they think about something that you gotta, deal with. What you think about my boss? No, what do you think about your boss? What you think about my coworker? Asking everybody else, what do they think? What do you think? How do you show up? Are you qualified to do the job? Are you showing up as that person day in, day out that deserves everything that you say you want inside of your life? Everything that you want inside of your life? And I'm posing these questions because these are the things that I think about by myself daily. Oh, are you a good friend? Are you a good companion? You do some, you did that, you being a little foolish, being a little naive, you being a little, playing with hot water. So when you get burnt, you can't look around like the water burnt me. No, you choose to burn yourself because you knew what was going on that eye over there on that stove. You're playing with fire, playing with smoke. If you see signs of smoke, something is burning. If you see signs of smoke, something is burning. And what you gonna do? Sit around and just wait till everything engulf in flames? I got to go. Pack my bags. I'm out of here. Gotta go. Gotta go. So when I'm talking about these things, it's more or less about you checking in and identifying what stories you want to tell, what stories you want to leave behind, what legacy of stories that you want people to recount about, your presence. How did you show up that day? Did you show up like the best version of yourself? Did you show up as somebody that, deserves to be the winner instead of the loser? Because we got categories for those individuals. We got categories. But you got to show up like a winner. First, you got to be able to program your mind and turn that mindset on to say, you know what? I deserve to be a winner. Because I can keep it 100 with myself. I can look myself in the mirror, and that's the first acceptance. Accepting you with your flaws and all. Accept yourself. Because a lot of times we attach ourselves to the story and we stop the story. I talked about this the other day. Yes, today was a bad day, a horrible day, man. My life is just coming to crumbles, and you keep telling that same story over and over again. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. So for 20 years, you've been telling the story from a victimhood mentality, from a victimhood perspective. And then every day that you walk outside your door, you keep blaming the world about your misfortunes. You telling yourself that same misfortune story. How about you change the narrative and turn that story into, you know what? All right, today was a bad day. Tomorrow is going to be a better one. Why? Because I'm ready. I put that preconceived notion out there already. That's the story I'm going to tell tomorrow. And I'm going to start by telling it right now. I'm telling that story right now. Telling the story of victory. I won already. I just got to go out there and claim it. Coach Lucky says it all the time. Go out there and claim it. Whatever it is that you want, go out there. You'll put your name on that. That's me. I got that. No, I got wealth. I got happiness. I got transparency around me. I got truth. I got loved ones. I got people that care about me. I'm 10 toes. I'm on my dean. I love God. I love Jesus. Ooh, nah, but for real though. Like seriously, man. Seriously. There's so many things that we can do and learn from coming to grips with who we are, accepting the story, start telling a different narrative, start telling a different story. and we can start rewriting that history, because we can change the past in the sense of how we look at things. We could tell that story a little bit different. We could tell a story. You know what? Yeah, yes, there was a time in my life where I got taken advantage of. But you know what? It made me learn and grow into a person that can save somebody else. Because I know what to look for. I see the signs in other people, myself. I know when I was watching what's the gentleman's name? I can't think of his name. Long story short, he was in an abusive household, right? And his mother was getting abused by his father, well, stepfather, by stepfather. And he said that he grew a high level of awareness because he can always sense when something is off. The energy in the room start to get thick. He says he could be in a club and the music is not hitting the people the same. People not dancing and grooving. People stop dancing. The energy shifting. He said he could just be in places in an environment and can tell when something's gonna go bad because he had to learn that in his environment for his own survival from being an abusive household when his mother was getting abused. So he said he can tell when the stepfather come home drinking, the energy is off, the language start to change. Things, the type of when the door slammed, he said he could tell even just from how when he come into the house on how the door will close, whether it was a soft close, a hard close on the door. All of these sensory things that he will pick up because he started to understand his environment. And for survival, he started to attack. He started to take these things with him throughout his life. He said even throughout his adulthood, when he be in environments, he could just tell when something negative is about to happen. Long story short, R.I.P. to his mother. His mother ended up dying from a gunshot wound from his stepfather. The guy shot his mother in the head, killed his mother. He got a phone call from his brother and said, "Hey, mom is dead." And understand that what he told himself, he said about the stories that about where he come from, the things he's experienced, is that in life we have an obligation to constantly be better. If we want to be able to help other people, if we want to be able to help ourselves, we have an obligation to be better. And the way that we detail these stories, we don't got to negate the fact that things happen. We can acknowledge them. We can know that things occurred. How we tell that story from here on out is going to make the difference on how you live your life. If you're going to be in a victimhood or you're going to be victorious. Victim or victory. You're going to be a victim or victory. You have a choice in every situation. And a lot of times we run from the choice. We run from the choice because we don't want to make the decision, because once we make a decision, we held accountable. There's responsibility that's attached to it. And most people say, if I make the wrong choice, people don't want to make choices. People don't want to decide. People don't want to decide because now once they make a decision, now that rests on your shoulders, whether you do or you don't. And we have nobody else to blame. So we all sit back and say, what you think? What you think? What about what you think? How about you think about that? What you think about that? What you think about this? Because if you make a mistake, we taught that we wrong. We learn some of these things inside of inside of the schooling system. You got to have the right answer. A lot of times we grow up, the methods on how they teach in our school systems is dated back to the industrial age. So they was just breeding people to be cognition, just work to being cogs in the system, just that spinning wheel inside of an industry. Factory workers. That's how the schooling been since then. This is how they do it now. So now what we do is we get in these spaces and the only thing we focus on is having the right answer instead of problem solving. There's no problem in the world that's bigger than you if you can outthink it. But we're not taught to think. We're not taught to outthink our problems. Problem solve. We're not taught to, you know what, it's okay to be wrong. And then what you do is you go back to the drawing board and you try again. And I was wrong again. And you go right back to the drawing board and do it again. Damn, I was wrong again. So you go back to the drawing board and do it again. And then eventually what you learn, even if you don't get the right answer, you learn what not to do. That's what they don't tell us. After every try and fail, you just learn what not to do for the next time. But they don't want us to make a decision. We got to be right. So every time we put up a picture, a post, or do anything, it has to be perfect. That's the right angle. That's the right shirt. That's the right hat. My shirt pressed, iron. I'm good. My breasts. Do I got the right cologne on? Do I smell good? Do I got a boogie in my nose? What's going on? What's going on? Everything got to be picture perfect, and it stops our progression because we don't want to try. So that's why we see in this world that we deal with a lot of coddling, right? A lot of enabling. It's because the breed of people are getting weaker mentally. The breed of people in our society today, we breeding individuals that are weaker minded because we're not allowing people to say, you know what, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. You fail when you don't try. That's the only failure. The only failure that you have in your life is when you don't try. And most people fail because they never try. I was one of those individuals. And I keep putting this thing out as a disclaimer because I don't want you to think that I'm talking to you. I'm talking with you about some of the things that I've experienced. And I know that some of the people that we're talking to on this forum as of right now have dealt with some of the same things. Because we talk on and off air. I see it on the internet, on and off air. I witness this in working environments, on and off air. I hear the private conversations when it's one-on-one with you, and then I hear the conversations when it's in a group setting. And then I hear some of the gossip conversations as well, shit that I don't want to be a part of. But it happens. Shh, yo, such and such. We hear the whispers. Can't pay close attention to the whispers. Because if somebody got enough energy to direct and talk about another personnel as if their life is perfect, you got to question that. Because out of all the things that we don't have right at this very moment, why are we not out there trying and failing? To be better individuals, to be better servers, to have higher levels of empathy for other people. How about we care about people enough not to sit around and gossip about them? How about we just pick ourselves up and say, you know what? How can I help you be and serve in any capacity? Because what you're doing is you transferring that currency, that energy. You transferring the caring energy to another personnel. And when you show a person that you care, what they start to do in their lives, they start to care a little bit more. Once you bring the awareness to their attention, spreading that love, that positive energy, that flow of currency, the higher levels of empathy, and saying, you know what, I care enough. I don't got to walk through their shoes, but I understand where that person is coming from. Maybe that person's just pissed off because they had a bad day. Maybe they pet frog had ascended. Maybe they goldfish stop swimming. It ain't funny. I like to have a little bit of humor. That's why I keep doing it, right? Because I know we get real serious, and some of these moments can be intense because they hit home and it's reflective. And a lot of times it's hard, looking in the mirror at times because we take ourselves too serious. We take ourselves too serious, and I want to let you know that you don't got to be that serious. It's okay to not be tough all the time as a male. It's okay to not to be super feminist to show off that you're a woman all day. You don't got to be super Democratic every day, super Republican every day. No, there's some principles and belief systems that you stand by, which is a beautiful thing. But are you willing to stand on these things to death? Is it that serious to the point where you want to harm somebody else and say, I'm going to die for this cause? At what degree are you willing to go and risk your freedom, your life for another? It just makes me wonder about some of the things and the choices that we make in our lives. Because everything, we always have a choice. Everything is tied to a choice. To be or not to be, that is the question. That is the question. You can be or not be. Your choice. Your choice. You always have a choice. But we run from it. We run from it. And today we are talking about some of the things about, learning the language of your passion and your purpose. How do we get there? How do we get there? Because like we said, everything has a language. You deal with music. You could say somebody that's a producer, Alchemist, Timberland, right? They know the industry that they in because they deal with sound. They deal with instruments. They deal with engineering behind the board, listening to the sound of the mic. That's what the engineer does. That's what the producer does. So they learn their industry by being in the studio, rhyming. Ooh, hear the beat. The beat make them go like this, or the beat make them go like, or you know what I'm saying? The rhythm, the beat. That's somebody that's in music. Somebody that's in fashion. What does that look like? The fashion industry. You have, you know, what's the trend? What are the colors that are in? What season is it? Is he a, is he or she dressed appropriately depending on if it's cold outside and you got shorts on or bikinis? A girl got a bikini on, freezing. Does it make sense? But people that's in the fashion industry will be super aware of it. Not saying that all of these things are common knowledge. There's some things that these people that are immersed inside of these industries pick up that be unbeknownst to us. Somebody that's okay. Ooh, I see how they got their laces. They got the big fat laces, what they called back in the 80s with Adidas. They got the fat laces versus skinny laces. Or they mix and match. I was watching it with Boosie the other day on Vlad. He was saying that his style always had been where he get a pair of Jordans. He wear one Jordan and he wear two different Jordans on his feet. One pair of Jordan 4 on his right foot and the Jordan 1s on the left. And the colors be different, etc. And they're like, why would you wear two different shoes? He like, man, this has always been my style. He said, I've been doing this since I was in grade school. Carried it out through high school, whatever grades he was in. He said, I did this. I've been doing this. But somebody that's into fashion, probably himself as well, from being that fashionable individual, right? That's something that, that he added to his own, his own identity, his own, chipping away at his imperfections. Say, you know what, I'm gonna add this to my arsenal, to my, my bag of tricks when it comes to fashion. Okay, I got a fashion trick. How about the mix and match? How about the two different sneakers? Or I watch it now too with some of the clothing in the fashion where they have almost like a split shirt. Half shirt be this and the other half be another shirt. What I seen in that is where they have different schools, different college. So you have one college, it'd be Michigan State, then it'd be Cornell, and then it'd be Ohio, whatever. And it's just three colleges with their logo, etc. Just tied it and weaved into one shirt. That's somebody that's in the fashion. What if somebody's in horticulture and how you say it? Horticulture? Planting. Yeah, you can tell I'm not in that industry. The God is not inside that industry, right? But somebody that's in agriculture. But they call it horticulture, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever. But somebody that's in agriculture, right? Somebody that's out there into planting. They know what seasons to plant what. They know what regions you need to plant, what seeds, at what time of the day, how much they need to be watered, or what type of sunlight do some of these, vegetables and fruits that they grow need to have. Somebody that's in that industry knows how and when to do the thing in order to yield the highest return on their time and their investment. Everything has an industry. The question is, what industry do you want to be part of? What industry do you want to be part of? What passion and purpose are you carrying around that you say, hey, I identify myself as being this type of person, doing this type of thing around these type of people? What does that look like to you in your world? What does that look like to you in the industry that you want to be in? You say, I want to be part of the good moral conduct club, right? A person that has good character. So a person that has good character, it doesn't necessarily have to mean being nice all the time, right? The thing is that somebody is good moral conduct and, good character is somebody that's just transparent and tell the truth. And then you learn along the way, hey, I could tell the truth. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. These are some of the things when you learn about communication. You say, hey, you know what? I can still get my point across, not offend somebody, but I could also, nudge them a little bit to say, hey, no, this right here isn't the right thing. We shouldn't be doing this, and still get your point across. It's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. We all are tied to an industry, and we can shape and mold our purpose. We can shape and mold our purpose once we decide on the industry where we want to be at. Hey, they say that you take what you're really good at and what you're passionate about, you merge them, and you make a circle around them, and that in between spot, that sweet spot right in the middle, is where you start driving home that narrative. You take what you're really good at, because people just naturally, or develop skill, some type of skill in a particular thing, right? And you say, I'm naturally great at this, and I'm just good. I'm just good at this shit right here. Good right here, doing this thing right here. And you take your passion, something that you're passionate about, right? And you draw a circle around it, and that sweet spot right in the middle, you take the in between, and you start curating that purpose from there. Start driving home that narrative from what you're really good at in that sweet spot, and what you do, and what you passionate about, and what you do really well, and what you do really well. That's how they say you find your purpose. It's taking what you're really good at, what you're passionate about, right in that middle of that sweet spot is where you drive home your purpose. I love rap, right? Give you an example. I love music. Love music. Love music. Love music. I was a rapper. And I'm gonna say was because I'm still am a rapper. Got bars for days. You feel me? What's up, man? What a battle, man. Yeah, I got bars. Feel me? But beyond the fact is that, hey, I learned that utilizing my voice is something that I'm passionate about. Finding a happy medium where I'm able to connect and converse with people and build with other people in the same way I used to do it in the music. I would go in the studio, rap out my thoughts. I'm still sharing my thoughts. I still have the same sentiment about getting a message across. And I found it in doing a podcast right here in real time. I get that same feeling of enthusiasm. I got that euphoria feeling, like I get this type of high of being able to communicate and share my thoughts, because there's a lot of things that go on in my mind every day. A lot of things that I process and want to test to see if this theory is right. It does this add up in real life situations. A lot of things that I consume. I consume a lot of information day in, day out, day in, day out. And then I go through life. And when I go through my hardships, I try to apply some of the things that I've learned or I heard from somewhere or someplace. And I try to put these things into practice and say, is this true? Does this add up? Does this make sense? What are the pros and cons? What do I learn? What can I share? Did I solve my problem? Can I do it again? Would this work again in this different domain? That's what Myron Golden would say. He said, if a principle is true, you should be able to take it across different domains and it still be true. That's what Myron says. If a principle, a law, is supposed to be true, you should be able to take it across different domains, different areas, different arenas, and that theory, that principle, that law still should be able to hold true. Let me take a sip of this tea real quick. You heard? Boy, you're getting the cotton. You heard? Mm-hmm. Ah, that thing good right there. You heard? That thing good right there. Where we at? I write down some of the things, right? Because I have my little template. Can't even see it on there, right? Maybe from this angle, it look like nothing on the paper. From this angle, can you see anything? Still, maybe because the lighting. Look like a blank sheet of paper. All good though. But I write down these treatments to have my thoughts and just have some type of guideline that I'm following. But it never really happens like that. I just start going off on a tangent because I like to really speak from the heart. I have something to help guide me, but I like to just come from what I feel. But I also like to validate it and have some type of substance and the mood, the environment going in the right direction. So that's why I keep this form, this treatment, I would say, right here to keep, you know, on track. 'Cause sometimes I could go off a little bit, right? Let's talk about passion, knowledge equals mastery. Passion plus knowledge equals mastery. That's how we become really, really skillful and equipped at whatever it is that we desire to be, whatever we desire to do, whatever type of industry we like to get in. How do we become masters? We got some steps we need to take. There's some steps that we need to take in order to become the master. First, we have to emerge. We have to immerse. They both work. We have to emerge and immerse ourselves inside of that industry. Whatever it is that we desire to do or be, we have to get in the game. We got to have some skin in the game. So first we pick whatever lane that we want to be in. Now we in this lane. Now we got to start figuring out, okay, I'm here now. What do I do? Time for the research. It's time for some research. Now we have to go and if we want to be in film, as an example, we have to go to film school. We have to watch film on YouTube, older cassette tapes, video cassette tapes, be around videography is what I'm saying. Learn editing. Study somebody that is great in that field. Go into an environment or community where this is what people do, videography. Learn still photoing, portrait photography. Learn how to go into the dark room and develop the film. There's so many things about that industry, if you want to get immersed inside of it, that we have to learn. We got to become students of the game. We didn't make it to mastery yet, because now we just soaking up the game. We are just students of the game. Now that we are students, what we do is we start to get practical. We start taking the things that we learned, seen, experienced, questioned. We start putting those things into practice. We start applying. We start utilizing some of these things throughout our daily lives. Not only are you a person that's just soaking up the game, you actually doing the work now. There's something that I heard this from Chris Williamson. He says, you want to have repeated recall, repeated recall over repeated exposure. Repeated recall over repeated exposure. Let me double back on and fact check that. I know it's repeated exposure for sure. Repeated recall, I think that's the terminology. The premise of it is this though. A lot of us take all the information in. I see it. It's right there in front of my face. I see what's going on. I see it. I see it every day. But only thing we do is just seeing and watching and consuming. And that's where it stops. The repeated recall is the action part. Is when we actually go out there and we start doing the thing by activity. Not only did we learn the game, I actually picked up a camera, I started taking pictures and doing my videography thing. Not only do we be students of the game, but we got to be practitioners and actually practice what's going on in the game to see if these things add up to what they're supposed to be. Because this is where we start to develop that skill. This is how you become skillful. You become skillful by doing the thing over and over and over again. Repetition. A lot of us, do something one time and think we got it. And we say, damn, that my pictures ain't coming out like, you know, such and such. Or I ain't shooting a movie like Scorsese. Or my videos don't come out like Tarantino or Jordan Peele. Why my pictures ain't coming out like that? How many times have you done the thing? How many times have you done the thing and got it wrong and know what not to do? Under what conditions? Because everything is context. Everything is context. It's about how you frame it. How ironic. You're talking about videography. Sometimes it's about the context. Majority of times it's about the context. How are you framing? How you framing it? That's what counts. We don't get better just by looking at things. Yeah, we soak the game up, and then we got to be people out there that's doing the activity, getting our hands dirty, getting our feet wet. We got to go through the mud, get things wrong, get some bumps, some bruises, some scars that come with the territory. You're going to get beat up, have some hardships, going to have some mental wars going on. Am I built for this? Can I go the distance? I'm a great sprinter. Can I go the marathon? Am I ready for the 10-mile marathon? Am I ready for the New York City Marathon? If I'm ready to run this race, even when I don't get the pat on the back, so no recognition. Am I ready to run this race? The weather conditions outside are poor. Am I ready to run this race and my shoes just came untied? I got a hole at the bottom of them. Am I ready to run this race only in my socks or barefoot? Am I ready to run this race and I got no water? I'm parched. I got the cotton mouth. How far are you willing to go? You say you passionate. You say you are purpose driven. But you give up easy. You give up easy. So you just saying it to say it? You ain't built for this, man. You, he, she, me. No. I don't prove that I'm a podcast until I show up every day. I don't earn the right to say that I'm at the top of the totem pole till I do it every day. And it's just a routine. It's repetition. I made up in my mind that I'm a podcaster. But now it requires the activity. Am I going to show up every Thursday or every week, drop an episode of the podcast? Some weeks be good. Some weeks it be weak. You know what I learned? What not to do for the next time. And just continue to show up. Continue to show up. Some people want to talk about you. He ain't even like that. She ain't even like that. They're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about your family. They're going to talk about your unborn child. They're going to talk about your money. They're going to talk about your relationship. They're going to talk about everything that they can throw at you. The kitchen sink. All I keep telling you, do duck. Just duck. Miss me. Miss me with the bull. Miss me with the bull. It's all good. It's part of the game. But you know where you get that support at? In the community where people are doing the thing. You may not get it at home. You may not get it from your companion. You may not get it from your children. You may not get it from your coworkers. Some people you don't understand. And that's okay. That's okay. You may get around the community, and inside that community, they don't understand. That's okay. You know what you got to do is say, you know what? I'm going to do this with or without and continue to trug along. It's going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey. It's going to be a walk. And there's going to be a crawl at times. And then there's going to be a sprint. And then it's going to be a marathon. And it's going to be everything in between. But you can do it. Because we see people out there every day that are successful at doing it. People that came from worse conditions and environments than you have and made it through. I heard something from Daniel Priestley. Daniel Priestley said, just play the cards that you were dealt. Play the cards the best way that you can, the way that they were dealt. That's all you can do. Some people are in more fortunate positions that you are in. Some people may had nothing given to them, and they got nothing but drive and passion because they want to get back at life because they want to be successful. That's the driving factor for them. Somebody else may have millions and millions, right, inherited, and they feel like I do a disservice if I don't go out there and hustle my butt off to make sure that this wealth grow for another X amount of years. That's their driving force and their passion. That's the cards that they were dealt. You are going to get dealt some cards. You already have been dealt some cards. Now it's about, okay, how I'm going to play my cards that was dealt to me. And what you got to do is play them to your best ability. Because everything that you need, you already have. All of the resources that you don't utilize is already at your fingertips. All of the money that you don't put to work is ready at your fingertips. You choose to go out there and, buy the next video game. That's the money that you put into your ad, into your promotion, or whatever it is that you want to do, or buy the new camera, buy the SIM card, or buy a piece of equipment. You have the money. We have displacement when it comes to some of these things. We choose to put these things to things that make us feel good in the moment. Instant gratification. This is what we do. I need to feel good right now. I need that cookie. I need that donut. Man, after the gym, I've been working out, I've been doing my thing. But that cookie right there, that donut right there, ooh, I need that right now. So we don't get the 6-pack. It was that donut. We all do it. We are human. But we can't blame other people for the choices that we make. Because you always have a choice. Always have a choice. To be or not to be. That is the question. That is the question. Take another sip of this thing right here, man. Let me see if there's anything else on here I really want to touch on. You know what? Let me just give you just share one more story about learning the language and show you where I have, learned the language. So, the language, one of the languages that I have learned during the course of my life is the language of empathy. And this is something that was curated inside of my household, in my home. I watched how my mother was so empathetic with people in their situations. She give a shirt off her back. And my home was a place of where we had many, many people coming in and out. I seen many, many people, friends, family, relatives, wake up one day, this person on the couch, the next day that person on the couch, this person at the foot of my bed, drop out this over here. It always been that. And what I learned to be in this environment, which is my home with my siblings, my mother, etc., is that it showed me how to care for people. It showed me that it's us. It's a collective. It's we. Togetherness. No pride. No ego. You get stripped of that. Scoot over. We got to share this bed. 2 at the foot, 2 at the head. I didn't want to sleep with John. John peed the bed. I said, you didn't sleep with John. John, he peed the bed. Was that Ghost or Ray? I think that was Ghost. All that I got is you. And I'm so thankful I made it through. That song right there is, I sit and think about all the times we did without, babe. I always said I wouldn't cry, but I saw the tears in your eye. I understand that daddy's not here now, but some way, somehow, you will always be around, yeah. All the things I could. Ooh, that buried that thing right. That's all right there, serious. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Serious joint right there. But the thing is, what I'm saying, I learned empathy. Grew up with that. Now I have a higher understanding, and I still have more growth to go. because I haven't reached mastery. But this is something that I learned on my way to becoming the person that I want to be in the near future, is having high levels of empathy and understanding that I don't have to be in somebody else's shoes to understand what that person may be going through. So that's why I choose not to, point fingers. Not saying that I haven't done it, because I've done it in my life. Not really understanding. I'm more aware of it now, to where I'm more conscientious and I do things with more intention of not trying to point the finger, because I still make mistakes. I just know that when I point one finger at somebody else, how do you do it? One finger there, and that's 4. How do you do it? Like this. The 3 that's here. 3 and the thumb. These 3 right here. And the thumb gets pointed right back at you. You feel me? See these? Walla, 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 walla. And the thumb. Once I point one this way, bang, 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 the other 4 come right back to you. So you point one finger at somebody else, you get 4 pointed right back at you. You feel me? Today was a beautiful build. I love to end it with this. If I offended anybody in some form or fashion, understand that wasn't my intention. My intention was just to deliver the message for us to gain some understanding about who we are, be introspective, looking from within. We can utilize our stories that we tell one another to tell ourselves who we desire to be in the near future. We can learn these things. We can learn, we can develop. We can be purpose driven. You can be designers, shape and mold our purpose from who we are. Utilize our leverage of who we are. Connect or emerge. The thing is, I get tongue twisted because I'm trying to say both at the same time. Immerse, emerge. I don't know what's going on with my brain. But trying to immerse ourselves in whatever industry that we desire to be in. Get in the game. Put some skin in the game. Learn the craft. Study the craft. Practice the craft. Do the thing. Be, do, have. Be more, do more. Do more, have more. To be or not to be? That is the question. Many quotes thrown around just to make us say, you know what? You got an option. You got a choice. You can do it. No, you can do it, because there are people out there that's doing it, have done it already. People are doing it, have done it. And there are people out there that are not doing it. And you could pick either one. You could be the person that doesn't do, the person that's doing, and when it's all said and done, when you look back on your life and your legacy, that person has done it. It's your choice. Once again, my intention wasn't here to offend. If I did, that wasn't my intention. It's more about just posing questions to have us look at ourselves, looking ourselves in the mirror and making the choice and figuring out, okay, what industry do you want to be part of? Who do you want to be? Who you desire to be? What person do you want to become? Every day we're becoming something by the habits that we carry. Every day we are becoming something because of the habits that we carry. It's been a powerful build. Shout out, this is our 3rd episode of the Respectfully Great podcast. Whoever popped their heads in, big love, big respect. You see this on the back end in the near future, understand that we are learning and growing. And I can't wait to see what we will become in the near future. Taking it one step, one stride at a time. Also, I think I get my new merch tomorrow. I think that new merch is in. Yeah, I think that new merch is in. They gave me a little text. We almost finished, completed. Boop, bop, boop, bop, boop, boop. I might go there, scoop that thing tomorrow. Actually, shout out to Veto. It's already up on the site. You can go there if almost like a pre-order. It's on the site right now. The salmon and the grape ice. You go to respectfullygreat.com. You go in there and you'll be able to see the grape ice and the salmon full on sweatsuit, top and bottom, Fialini. It's already up. You can place your order, and that thing be with to you within a few days. Because I know we the final stages of production. I got to contact it. It's pretty much done, honestly, right? I don't like to say I got it until it's physically in my hand, but I already know it's already it's already there. We converse, text, etc. So I just got to scoop it up tomorrow, like work, right? But respectfullygood.com, you're going to purchase some merch. Soon, I think I'm gonna put up a QR code for donations. Um, if in the near future, if you say, hey, you want to donate to the cause, donate to you, donate to your brand, donate to your future endeavors, donate to your equipment, donate to your sound system, do whatever you feel like doing. If you want to, the option. They say if you don't have it on the table, it's not an option. So I want to put the option up there. They say that for future reference, if there's anybody, he, she, want to donate, I will put up a QR code, and it basically would be at Respectfully Great, if I'm not mistaken, on Cash App or something like that. I will put it up in due time once I get better with, uh, you know, the presentation, learning to work out the kinks, etc. We get there, right? But it's been a beautiful build. I'm happy and proud that we're on our third episode, and we got many more to go. Shout out to yourselves. Pat yourself on the back. Be easy with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. You rewrite your story if necessary. If the story that you've been telling up until this time right now been a story of, hardship and victimhood, just give it to that. Just give it to that. Start being victorious. Start changing the narrative. Be the person that you desire to be. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Care for yourself. And then start working on, you know, being there for other personnel. Have higher levels of empathy. Once you become one and keep it 100 with yourself, keep it 100. Keep it 100. Respectfully, we out there. Have a good night. It ended on the gram too? All right, let me know when it ends there. Oh, shit. All right. All right, cool.